Okay, now that we have a regression model, how do we use it for forecasting? So we're going to use the gas prices example to illustrate this. Now, how do we come up with the X values for forecasting? So we need to have X is known ahead of time. So these are the things that these are the ways in which you'll have the X values. So if you have lagged, like crude oil price this month will affect prices next month. So that means you will have the values of X. X will be known ahead of time. Otherwise, you have to predict what the X's will be in the future time period. And then based on that predicted X's, you have to find the forecast for Y. So that when X is unknown, you have to forecast the unknown X, and then based on that, you have to forecast Y. Or you can do what if kind of analysis. What if the X is this combination or that combination? So you can set up different scenarios for X's and come up with the forecast. So forecast for n plus 1 is you plug in the X values into the regression equation, you get a point estimate, and then you can do interval estimate, prediction interval, by taking the point estimate and then adding and subtracting margin of error, which is t table times standard error. Okay. So if you want to forecast more than one period ahead of time, there are two approaches like in simple regression that we looked at. We apply the X values to the original, generate forecast for X and then apply those X's into the model. Okay. And you get advantages, what if analysis, but the disadvantage is you're adding more uncertainty that is not accounted for. So a prediction interval may not be very reliable, or you can reformulate to have more lags so the actual X values will be known to you. So we already discussed this in chapter 7. So now let's look at coming up with the prediction interval for the forecast. Let's go to the Excel file. Okay, now the same gas prices model. So we have the estimation sample and the holdout sample. Okay, now the dependent variable is the gas price. Then we have independent variables. So X sub 1, X sub 2, X sub 3, and X sub 4. Okay, suppose we want prediction interval for January of 2009. So we're going to use lag, right? So lag of one period. Okay. So December 2008, what is the crude oil price, unemployment, and so on and on. And those will be the lagged one variable values for 2009. So it will be like that one for 2009. Now we want to generate not just a point estimate, we want a prediction interval as well. Now, in multiple regression, coming up with the standard error for prediction interval is very difficult. So we have to do it one by one, unfortunately. If it is point estimate for the holdout sample, we can just generate the point estimates, no problem, using the regression model. But if you want prediction interval, then you have to trick Excel into generating the prediction interval for you. Okay. So now we want for January 2009. So let's go down. Okay. So here is the end of estimation sample. Okay. Now we want prediction for 2009. So this was the actual value, but we want to predict that based on these X values. These are the X values for January 2009. So they copy paste that. Let's give a color code for that to indicate that we want prediction at these values. So this is the actual value, but we want to predict using the model that we have developed. So here you have to enter a 0, which is what we want to predict. Okay. Now we need to add another column called prediction column. Okay. And we will enter the value 0, and again we'll color code this to indicate that we are trying to use this additional column for prediction purposes. Okay, and then in that corner you have to put m-1. So this is a trick that we are tricking Excel into giving us the standard error. Okay, so our estimation sample is the original sample, and we have tagged along additional row and an additional column. Okay, so now we're going to run the regression analysis, including the new row and the new column included in it. So go to regression. So Y range is, let's include the label. Okay, so all the estimation sample plus that additional row. Now input range. Okay, so all the X values, so starting from crude, the first X, second, third, and fourth, and we include the prediction row as well. Okay. So, and all the way up to and including the last row that we have added. Okay, this includes labels, and let's put the output right here and run the regression. And we don't want all of these plots now, so let's remove those. Okay, so now it generates. We are really not interested in any of the other things, except we want the MSE and the degrees of freedom, and these coefficients also we are not much interested in them, except this coefficient. So let's highlight this. So this is the, so here are the 4 X variables, and this is the new prediction row that we added. Okay, the coefficient that you see for prediction, that's our point estimate for Y. The SC for forecast error is the standard error that we have here. Okay, let's say we want the confidence level to be 95% for prediction interval, 95% prediction interval. So degrees of freedom for MSE is that. Okay, so T table value is T dot INV dot 2T. Alpha is 1 minus the confidence level, and degrees of freedom is the degrees of freedom of MSE. So that will give us the T table value. We take the T table value and multiply by the standard error, we get the margin of error. Now that's it. So now we take the point estimate, point forecast, minus margin of error will give us the lower limit for our prediction, and point forecast plus margin of error will give us the upper limit. So we are 95% confident that the gas price for the crude oil price and unemployment, S&P, and personal disposable income lagged by 1 month that we have indicated. If that is the, with those values, our gas price will be anywhere between these two values per gallon, and we are 95% confident about that. So we are 95% confident that in January 2009 the price of vanilla gasoline will be between these two price levels. Now for February 2009, then you have to run that again, and for March then again you have to run in Excel. But if you use other software packages like SAS or SPSS or Minitab, then you can just simply input these are the values for which I want the prediction interval, and this software will generate the prediction interval for you automatically.